Across the African grasslands, strength alone does not guarantee lasting control of territory. Lions must constantly hunt, defend the pride, and face competing rivals around them. From ambushes in tall grass to applying pressure on rivals, every move is calculated. How do lions turn strength into lasting power? In the wild, hyenas are not aimless wanderers as many might assume. They are the second most dominant social predators in Africa after lions, operating in disciplined clans of up to around 80 individuals. This strong cohesion allows them to optimize food access and maintain influence across the grasslands. However, their relationship with lions goes beyond competing over prey. It is a rivalry for control of core living space. The situation intensifies as a large group of hyenas gathers, actively surrounding and applying pressure on a lioness to gain the advantage. But the balance shifts immediately when an adult male lion appears without warning. Weighing around 420 pounds, it focuses on the most assertive individual to disrupt the group's structure. A single decisive move is enough to weaken the numerical advantage, forcing the entire clan to pull back. To maintain long-term dominance, lions do not only respond in direct encounters, but also sustain pressure over time. They use their sense of smell to locate hyena resting areas, then approach with surprise through dense grass. Under this superior strength, younger hyenas are more likely to lose their advantage, requiring the group to adjust its strategy. On the savanna, true advantage lies not only in immediate pressure, but in the ability to control space, making it clear that the territory is already claimed. Unlike contests over food on open grasslands, encounters between lions and crocodiles unfold at the boundary between dry land and water. Here, the lion faces a living fortress, measuring around 15 feet in length, capable of remaining concealed beneath murky water. A single misstep can quickly shift the balance. This environment makes every decision critical. During the dry season, when crocodiles spend more time on land, a group of lionesses quickly forms a surrounding formation. Rather than engaging directly, they take turns closing in, delivering forceful swipes to the tail and along the sides. Sustained pressure gradually reduces the stability of the heavier opponent. When pushed to its limit, the crocodile retreats back into the river to regain safety. In another situation in shallow water, a mother lion establishes a firm defensive barrier. To protect her cubs from a hidden presence moving beneath the surface, she steps forward and repeatedly strikes at sensitive areas of the crocodile. The determined response, driven by strong maternal instinct, forces the aquatic predator to withdraw, restoring calm to the water. As a result, lions do not prevail over crocodiles through strength alone. They succeed through timing, coordination, and precise awareness of the terrain. Wild dogs are often described as the mathematical engineers of the savanna. With bodies weighing only around 70 pounds, they achieve a hunting success rate close to 80%. This efficiency makes them highly effective at resource use and also places them in direct competition with lions. In southern Africa, wild dog packs rely on endurance running to wear down prey over long distances. After a pursuit lasting several miles, their bodies enter a temporary state of energy decline. Lactic acid builds up in their muscles, reducing speed and slowing reaction time. At this point, their collective advantage begins to weaken. Sensing that moment, a group of lionesses follows from a distance and sets up a coordinated approach. From the cover of brush, they suddenly accelerate, applying pressure to disrupt the pack's formation. The unexpected presence causes the wild dogs to lose cohesion. The prey they had secured quickly becomes the focus of direct competition. As the wild dogs can no longer maintain distance, the lions increase pressure. Escape routes narrow as the pack moves in a scattered state. A nearby male lion takes advantage, using a bite force of around 650 pounds per square inch to subdue the weakened target. This is not only a survival encounter, but also a contrast between individual strength and the limits of collective strategy. If the lion is the king of the savanna, then the cheetah is the lightning of the grasslands. Within the big cat ecosystem, the relationship between these two species is a fierce equation of competitive exclusion. Despite reaching speeds exceeding 70 miles per hour, the cheetah's slender frame of around 120 pounds remains within the lion's range of control. The objective is not only food, but also territorial dominance. In East Africa, when a cheetah commits fully to a chase, the surrounding space becomes unusually still. At the edge of low brush, a lion moves on patrol, watching in silence. A single misaligned movement is enough to trigger a closing response. Rather than giving chase, the lion steadily positions itself along the path leading to the food source. If the cheetah hesitates and fails to maintain a safe distance, its speed advantage quickly loses effect. Limited space turns every stride ineffective against direct physical pressure. This is why cheetahs rarely engage in prolonged encounters. Each encounter becomes a test of awareness, Cheetahs often scan their surroundings to locate potential threats before hunting, resting, or securing their catch. For individuals raising cubs, diversion tactics are prioritized. On the savanna, speed creates opportunity, but vigilance determines long-term survival. The leopard is known as one of nature's greatest masters of concealment. Its spotted coat blends seamlessly into dry grass, allowing it to almost disappear while maintaining a solitary survival strategy. However, on the savanna, there are always boundaries of power that cannot be crossed. When it unknowingly enters lion territory, every camouflage advantage quickly loses effect. A coalition of lions quickly forms a formation, steadily closing the space around the target. Rather than chasing, they reduce the distance to around 10 feet, forcing the leopard into a reactive position. Escape routes begin to disappear, and the leopard lowers its body, extending its claws in a defensive stance. Under overwhelming pressure, it is forced to withdraw to avoid a prolonged encounter. The tension does not end when lions discover a leopard holding its prey high in a tree. Unwilling to lose the advantage, they approach the base and attempt to climb. The balance is disrupted as branches begin to shake, forcing the leopard to keep moving. A single misstep can cause it to lose position and drop to the ground. The moment it reaches the ground, the surrounding pressure closes in immediately. On the savanna, concealment allows the leopard to survive, but the authority of lions ultimately determines who controls space and opportunity. Across the Serengeti plains, herds of wildebeest operate a defensive system like a living current. Each adult can reach speeds over 50 miles per hour, combining synchronized reflexes to create visual confusion that challenges predators. However, survival pressure builds when a lion quietly locks onto a target, patiently closing the distance with each step. The pace surges as a lioness launches a short burst of speed, cutting angles to separate an individual from the group. The target reacts instantly, turning its curved horns to maintain distance and search for an opening. Under continuous pressure, the lion adjusts position to block every possible escape route. Through precise coordination, members of the pride align quickly and bring the pursuit to a close within a short time. As the dust settles, calm returns to the grasslands. This result provides more than 250,000 calories, enough to sustain the pride's energy for several days. On the savanna, speed supports survival, but coordination ultimately determines the outcome. On the savanna, some species view the world from an entirely different perspective. The giraffe stands over 18 feet tall, allowing it to monitor movement from long distances. However, its towering body and distinctive long neck also make it easier to be detected early. As a predator begins to close the distance, height is no longer just an observational advantage. Encounters between lions and giraffes can last for hours across open grasslands. Yet the close-range phase typically lasts only about 3 to 5 minutes. When lions accelerate at short range, they attempt to move in from behind to apply pulling force. The goal is to disrupt balance and lower the opponent's center of gravity. Under that pressure, the giraffe delivers powerful kicks using legs that measure around 6 feet in length. At the same time, it shifts direction toward uneven terrain to break away from the pursuit. The chase quickly becomes a test of endurance. If one side begins to lose strength, the advantage immediately shifts to the other. A single shadow passing overhead is enough to signal that the eagle has entered the scene. This bird of prey does not rely on numbers, but on altitude and precision. It keeps its target in sight until every escape path becomes too late. Even other predators are placed on alert. Once the eagle has chosen its target, the sky immediately shifts in favor of the hunter. Under the bright sun of East Africa, antelope are among the most agile herbivores on the savanna. Some species can reach speeds of around 50 miles per hour and leap nearly 10 feet when avoiding danger. However, even the most skilled runners of the grasslands can occasionally reveal a moment of vulnerability. This time, the opponent is the martial eagle. With vision estimated to be about 8 times sharper than that of humans, it can detect a young individual moving slightly out of sync with the herd. That moment appears when a young antelope drifts away from the safety of formation. The eagle immediately folds its wings and accelerates. The distance between sky and ground closes rapidly. Within a few brief seconds, the advantage of surprise allows it to take control before the herd can respond. The mother antelope may turn back and attempt to create a barrier to protect the young. But against such a rapid approach from above, the window to react is extremely limited. Across freshwater and coastal ecosystems, fish serve as a critical resource for many sea eagles. With diets that can reach up to 80%, each successful catch directly supports the energy needed to sustain a wingspan of nearly 7 feet. To reach targets beneath the surface, the African fish eagle, or the bald eagle, remains patient. observing from above for extended periods. When the moment arrives, the descent is precisely adjusted in angle, allowing the talons to secure the target in an instant before quickly lifting away from the water. But the strength of the eagle doesn't lie only in direct hunting skill. In many wetlands and river mouths, it uses its presence to pressure other water birds and take advantage of more favorable opportunities. In the wild, mastering the sky is not just about being stronger, but about conserving energy and choosing the right moment. In a rare moment within the cold air, a sea eagle with a wingspan exceeding 8 feet encounters a golden eagle in the open sky. Below them lies animal remains, a vital source of energy during the harsh season. The difference becomes immediately clear. The sea eagle dominates with its massive size and broad wings. The golden eagle is smaller, but controls distance with agile changes in direction. There is no reckless dive. The encounter turns into a tense, tactical exchange shaped by the cold wind. They repeatedly close in, tilt their wings, then separate in an instant. Each circling pass becomes a test of endurance. Every shift in direction is a choice between advancing, holding position, and conserving energy. In such a cold environment, a single mistimed wing beat can cost valuable strength. After multiple probing movements, the sea eagle gradually lowers its pace and glides away from the contested space. It is not a sign of weakness, but a refined expression of survival instinct at the highest level. Venomous snakes are silent predators, carrying one of nature's most formidable chemical defenses. In some species, such as spitting cobras, this substance can be projected nearly 10 feet, creating a buffer of survival before an opponent can close in. But in the sky, eagles specialize in exploiting the smallest errors in their movement. This encounter extends beyond land to rocky coastlines. Sea snakes possess potent venom, but each time they surface to breathe, their position becomes easier to detect. From heights of over 300 feet, a sea eagle with a wingspan of nearly 6 feet scans the water, lowers its flight path, and delivers a precise approach. Within a brief moment, the advantage of altitude is converted into a source of food that can sustain chicks in the nest. In Africa, encounters with venomous snakes can become even more intense. Snake eagles do not rely on overwhelming size. Their advantage lies in dense feathering, scale-covered legs, and the ability to maintain precise distance. In the wild, a single moment of being read correctly can shift the entire balance of survival. Beneath the dense canopy of tropical forests, light is filtered through multiple layers of tall trees, making the sky nearly disappear. This is the domain of the harpy eagle, a predator with a wingspan that can exceed 7 feet and talons measuring around 5 inches. For primates moving through the treetops, its presence is often difficult to detect. The approach unfolds with almost no sound. With relatively short and broad wings, the eagle can navigate through tight gaps, closing in from behind. When an individual becomes separated from the group, the distance is quickly reduced, and a precise approach allows it to secure the target right on the branch. In other situations, the target may be a 3-toed sloth clinging closely to a tree trunk. Unlike primates, it remains still and limits movement. The eagle must adjust its angle within a confined space, and if the position is not favorable, it may withdraw without success. The journey to maturity for an eagle is a series of survival lessons shaped by experience and failure. To master the sky, a young bird must learn to read 2 different worlds: land and water. On the grasslands, the first challenge is often the wild rabbit. Weighing around 6 pounds and capable of constant zigzag movement, this small target can cause a young eagle to lose momentum if it rushes the approach. Through repeated unsuccessful attempts, it gradually learns to hold altitude, choose the right angle, and wait for the moment when the target slows. When shifting to water, the difficulty increases. Refraction causes the fish's position to differ from what the eye perceives. A mature eagle often glides low, adjusts its angle of view, then uses its feet to secure a salmon weighing around 5 pounds. From open plains to fast-moving water, each setback becomes a test. Patience, the ability to adjust, and an understanding of the environment ultimately shape the eagle into a true ruler of the sky. Across arid plains, the red fox represents a solitary lifestyle shaped by strong adaptability. An adult weighs around 15 pounds, with keen hearing and a coat that blends seamlessly with the earth for survival. However, when winter reduces food availability, expanding its range can also make it easier to detect. At dawn, as the fox moves across open ground, pressure begins to build. From above, a golden eagle folds its wings and descends to take advantage of surprise. Sensing the threat, the fox quickly changes direction to evade. But the hunter's advantage lies in a precise approach, with a gripping force of around 400 pounds per square inch, securing the moment within seconds. Even so, not every hunt is successful. At times, the eagle abandons the attempt and moves on when the target reacts too quickly or the terrain no longer favors the approach. The encounter shows that survival depends not only on strength, but also on the ability to recognize the right moment to change the outcome. And this principle extends beyond the red fox. Even wolves, known as experienced hunters, can become targets when a young, weakened, or isolated individual moves alone and loses awareness, even briefly. On sheer cliff faces, mountain goats exist as masters of extreme terrain. Their bodies outweigh their opponent many times over, but their true advantage lies in hooves that grip firmly onto narrow rock ledges. For them, the most dangerous places become the strongest fortresses. From above, the golden eagle appears with a wingspan of over 7 feet. Each circling pass serves as reconnaissance, searching for individuals that are isolated or momentarily unaware. In its first approach, the eagle dives, attempting to use direct force to dislodge its target. But the mountain goat braces tightly against solid rock. Losing the element of surprise, the hunter fails to overpower its target. Unwilling to give up, the ruler of the sky widens its flight path and shifts strategy. It waits for the precise moment when the opponent stands too close to the edge. Folding its wings, the eagle uses gravity, descending at speeds exceeding 150 miles per hour. The powerful approach disrupts the goat's footing in an instant. On such precarious terrain, a single loss of balance is enough to reverse the entire outcome. The encounter comes to a close. High on the mountain peak, the golden eagle reveals a lesson in survival. Success belongs to the one that uses the terrain and adapts more effectively. On the savanna, no advantage lasts without being protected at the right moment. Lions must constantly balance hunting, the safety of the pride, and pressure from rivals. Prey seeks to avoid danger, while other predators wait for any opening to appear. It is intelligence and resilience that allow lions to maintain their influence across the savanna. If you enjoy these stories, make sure you like and subscribe to discover more dramatic moments of survival in the wild.